How do property millionaires reduce their tax bill to zero? Is it possible to even pay zero tax? Well, actually, it is in some cases, but you won't necessarily avoid all taxes. So, for example, I have some friends that live overseas. Although their investments are here, they choose to only be in this country about 3 months of the year. That means that they're effectively a tax exile. So they are nipping in and out of the country. They're not here for many days of the year. So that means their income is taxed elsewhere, and they'll be in a country where they aren't paying any tax. Often, the people that make the most money will pay the least amount of tax. And this also applies to businesses as well. So, your Amazons, your Starbucks, and various other companies as well. And they are structured in such a way that they pay minimal amounts of tax in this country. If you park the ethics aside for the moment, what we're saying is they are using the smartest accountants to understand the rules that the government has set out in order to work within those rules and minimize or almost eliminate the amount of tax they're paying. So absolutely it is possible to reduce your tax right down to a zero amount, but for most people, what they will end up doing is paying less tax than the vast majority of people, even though they might be earning more money. And that's understanding by how taxes work and making best use of those. So for example, if you've got, sometimes people are not very good in their business in terms of how they're paying for things. There might be, let's say for example, I buy a laptop for myself, I pay for it on my personal card. And so I'm now paying for that. I might be using it for work predominantly, but what I've done, I've paid for that from the income that's already been taxed. Whereas actually, if the business paid for it, it'd be a pre-tax cost. So what that means is actually you're saving on the tax, and now we still get the laptop, but I haven't first been taxed and then paid for that. We've got that laptop before we pay any tax on it. So, little things like this, and there are lots and lots of little things that a smart accountant can help you understand. I'm not talking about breaking the law. I'm talking about working within the law, but simply by understanding it and reducing your tax right down. And having the right accountants is absolutely key. So you'll have some accountants that you'll approach and say, hey, look, I'm running my business and how can I be more tax efficient with what I'm doing? And they look at it and say, oh, that's fine. You've got to pay some tax and stuff. And that's because it's easier for them just to get on with that rather than then sit down and work through it with you and look at each and everything that you're doing and suggest ways how you can set the business up so it's more tax efficient. And then you get some accountants that are very smart, very switched on, and they'll suggest how to set up the business to make it very efficient for you in terms of tax. So we're not talking about tax evasion here. We're talking about tax avoidance by avoiding tax by working within the law. Hey, if you're enjoying these short videos that we're doing called Saj Dailies, then make sure you also check out our longer form content that we have on the channel. There's probably about 300 videos that are on the channel that we've uploaded over the last few years, and there's a lot more content uploaded regularly. And if you're enjoying it, then make sure you click on that like button. Also subscribe to the channel, but more importantly, leave me a comment. Let me know what it is about these videos you're particularly enjoying and particularly liking. And once you've done that, make sure you click on this video, and I'll see you over here next.